Aye, and once you're done in the kitchen, go and clean up the cellar. The spiders have made a nest down there. A big one, too. They're crawling everywhere. Master David, nice of you to grace us with your presence.
I appreciate your patience.
I've had the staff prepare some of the finest Scottish delicacies for you. Black pudding, haggis, scrambled eggs with deer brain, and bacon. I shot the deer myself, in the local woods.
Mother was never a fan of dishes made from entrails. In this case, she'd be missing out.
That was delicious. Thank you.
I'm sure our local specialities must seem peculiar to one raised as you were.
I was raised in India. My spectrum of peculiar has quite a range.
Elsa knows more about my father than she dares tell me. I'd better earn her trust now. She might return to the village once the weather clears.
Yes, Master David?
May I ask, the maid, she seems nervous, almost afraid of me.
She's afraid of everything.
You don't think much of her?
I do not, sir. And, if I may be so bold, one of Lady Gordon's earrings has gone missing.
You suspect the maid?
Not my place to say, Master David.
Yet I think you just did say. If I gave him the earring, he'd use it as an excuse to torment the maid. Not that I'd ever gain his trust. He's clearly loyal to Lady Margaret.
You've worked for the family all your life?
Yes, Master David. Save my time serving in Swaziland.
You served in South Africa?
Oh, indeed, sir. During the Boer War. But Sir Edward intervened and I was able to return unharmed from that most futile conflict.
How many staff are there?
Nowadays, only myself, the maid, and Rory the gardener. I suppose you could include the lawyer, too, if that is work.
Not many for such a big house.
If you felt like hiring more staff, I would not complain, sir. But of course, not everyone is suited to work in this house.
Well, good day to you.
Indeed, sir.
A sign of modernity, even in ancient houses like this.
Miss Crannan? I noticed the attic door is locked.
You'd best ask Angus, sir. I hardly go up there.
The mere mention of the attic terrified her. What is in there?
Isn't that used for transporting cooked food? Why is there blood in it?
Ugh, the wee scunner thought it would be funny to put one of his dead beasties in it to fear me. He should keep them in the cellar and... Sorry, sir. I'm speaking out of turn.
Did you ever talk to my father?
I was serving here when he... That is to say,
Go on, please.
I didn't think it'd be proper, sir. Lady Margaret said... Oh, sorry, sir. I must get on with my work.
She's as scared of Margaret as she is of the butler. Poor girl.
I think you may have lost this.
Oh, sir! Oh, thank you, sir. I only wanted to see how it looked in the mirror. I didn't mean to. I was scared to tell her ladyship. Oh, she can have such a temper.
What are you going to do now?
If I can sneak it into the salon, maybe her ladyship will think she lost it there herself.
From what I know about her, I very much doubt her ladyship will.
What happened to my father here?
I'm sorry, sir. You're no like the rest of them here. Oh, sir, there's things you should know, but I really need this job.
She knows something, but how can I convince her to trust me?
Would you like me to escort you to the cellar?
Wouldn't be proper to ask the owner of the house to do that, sir.
Well, I'm not the owner yet, and you didn't ask.
Very kind of you, sir.
Happy to help. I'll let you know when I'm ready to accompany you down there. I shall leave you to your work.
Talking to me makes her very nervous. Talking to me...
Shall we?
Let's see what we can find down here. This is as close as I get. Otherwise, I'll have them crawling all over me. I have to find a way to eliminate them altogether. Harsh as it may seem, a proper search... Raw spirit. Not particularly palatable, but good for cleaning and magic tricks. The water of life. Some of these whiskies are from local distilleries. Step right up!
Sir? What are you... Oh my! Oh, that's amazing! Does that not hurt?
No, a little trick I learned in India.
Sorry, did that scare you, Elsa? I didn't think... Huh.
And you are?
Edward Mallory. You may call me Edward III.
So this is Cousin Eddie. He seems
Welcome to my castle.
as terrible as the rest of them. My castle indeed.
Pleased to meet you, Eddie. So, your parents would be my aunt and uncle Clara and Victor. Are they...
Dead. Dead as doornails, the pair of them.
Lovely.
You've lived here all your life, so you would have met my father.
Only after he lost what marbles he had left. If it were up to me, I'd have locked him up in the loony bin a bit sooner.
Locked him up?
So what are you doing down here anyway?
There's a line between honesty and rudeness that Cousin Eddie doesn't seem to recognize.
I was helping Miss Crannan.
Oh, why didn't you ask me?
Excuse me, sir. Sirs, I really have to go.
Leaving so soon? Was it something I said? They all tend to act like that in the presence of nobility.
You said something about a loony bin?
I did. Oh, you don't know.
Well?
Well, never you mind. I have an animal to prepare.
I'm getting very tired of everyone in this house avoiding my questions.
There's something you should know, sir. Something important. I overheard them talking, and
You're paid to work, not chat. Get to it, girl.
Sorry, Mr. McKinnon. Library, after dinner.
At last, I might get some answers. This'll make it easier to carry. The boy. It must be. But I need to be sure. Perhaps the names are on the back. The boy. How did he provoke Edward into throwing him down the stairs? Lady Margaret. She looks happy. I can't imagine her smiling like that these days. Grandfather Edward. Just as he looked last night. My family. Yet they're all still strangers to me. What's this? Looks like it's drawn in blood?
Regardless of what I told Miss Cranon, these visions are like nothing I've ever experienced before, and they're getting worse.
Smoking a pipe? I thought that would be beneath her station.
Lady Margaret.
David?
May I first apologize for my strange behavior last night? It's just that...
Think nothing of it. You were obviously tired from your travels. Least said, soonest mended.
What kind of man was my grandfather?
Oh, he was magnificent. He was handsome, so handsome, and caring.
Caring enough to knock a defenseless child down the stairs.
All was so very different when he was around.
The maid. She seemed to be acting strangely, like she was frightened of me.
Yes, well, she's a simple sort, that one. She has probably heard of the curse of the Gordons the locals like to whisper about.
Curse? What curse?
Just a peasant superstition. I would guess she was worried you'd show the same displays of unpredictable violence as your father did.
I never knew my father to be the violent type.
Oh, there are many things you do not know about your father. This is his doing.
What? But how?
I'd rather not discuss it, David. And that maid should really keep her mouth shut and locate the earring she lost. She's like a magpie with shiny, expensive things.
This may seem like an unusual question.
I'd be surprised if it wasn't, dear boy.
Have I ever been here before? Is it possible I visited as a child and can no longer remember?
Oh, no. You are a stranger to these walls.
And I have a feeling you prefer it stayed that way.
I saw an old photograph of a boy in the other room.
Something tells me she wouldn't be happy if she knew I had it in my pocket.
Ah, that was taken in 1894. Young Johnny, your father.
You can remember the exact year.
It's a funny thing when you reach my age. You can remember dates from decades ago.
But not what you had for breakfast.
Maybe others can't.
Who, may I ask, were the others in the picture?
That would be your Aunt Clara and your late great-grandmother, the last true Countess of Scahendew House. And my dear Edward, of course.
I noticed my father had a scar on his face. How did that happen?
Falling from a tree, perhaps? I can't recall. But your father was a clumsy child.
Can't recall. But you remember the date the photograph was taken.
I shall take my leave, Lady Margaret.
Yes,
A note about a library, a key, and some sort of broken toy. Should I even try to read any real meaning into all of this?
David, apologies for not being here to greet you. As the telephone in the castle is not working due to the recent storm, I have had to journey to the village to communicate with my office. Upon my return, I shall show you to the chapel where you can pay your respects to your father. Yours, Andrew Harrison.
Or maybe I'll just head to the chapel myself, just as soon as the weather clears. It's labelled Mallory. Perhaps another client of Mr. Harrison. It's working. Has it been repaired? Or did Andrew lie to me? Finally, some fresh air.
Master David.
You could tell it was me.
Your footsteps. I ken the walk of everyone here.
Well, that's rather incredible.
Aye, that it is, laddie. That it is. I hear better than most. See more than most and all.
Father had a similar toolbox. Back when he still fixed things around. When you talked about what they did to my father, what did you mean?
You shouldn't have come back. You canna go through what he did as a bairn and no be sick.
So his hospitalization was justified then?
Not for me to say. Before you think of putting down roots here, you should think on what the poison grown here did to your father. You ken?
No, not really.
If you dinna mind, this door'll no mend itself.
I'll leave you to it then. Father had a similar tool. I've seen this before. In the painting. This is the grave I saw in that waking dream or whatever it was. The grave my father buried something in as a boy. Who's buried here? If I could just... these vines are too thick. I need something to cut through. Nobody left to mourn the dead or care for their grave. Rory's tools. A hammer, a tenant's... Rory's tool. Rory's tools.
May I borrow your bolt cutter?
Maybe. If I ken what you need it for.
The graves. I would like to tidy them up. That way I can pay my respects properly.
Is that a fact? Why's that then?
They are my family. They deserve to be remembered.
Fair enough, laddie. Just grab it yourself, will ye?
I'd better have a look at the grave from the painting before sunset. Better. Cecilia Shaw, nee Gordon. Aunt Cecilia. Now, let's see if there's something really buried in here. Another piece of the castle model. Another part of the model, and it's stained with what seems to be old blood. Why did Father bury this when he was a child? How could I have known that something was buried here? I don't remember Father ever telling me about this grave.
Father must have buried the chapel piece here for a reason when he was a boy. But why? And whose blood is it stained with?
Another part of the model, and it's stained with what seems to be old blood. Why did Father bury this when he was a child?
being the chronicle of the family Gordon, as laid down by Sir Drummond Gordon, the year of our Lord, 1413.
Local legend speaks of this particular glen as being inhabited from time immemorial. Enigmatic, elaborately carved Pictish stones stand as timeless evidence of this. As for the locals, they appear prideful of the counsel they delight in giving to visitors. Traveler, beware. The Celtic peoples arrived in this place like a great beast, bringing with them the bloodlines that would eventually spawn the Gordon clan. Using their superior numbers, knowledge, and machines of war, they swiftly conquered the primeval Picts. With them, they brought too their religion and druid clerics. The magics these wise men used did shape forever the lands, even until this present day. It is said that the sempiternal burden our family carries rose at that time. 'Tis well recorded how the Empire of Rome did fail to tame the wayward Scots, that they did even raise a barrier to protect their mighty empire. What is seldom told is the truth behind their defeat. Our ancestors drew upon ancient powers to aid their victory, powers not easily fathomed by the fragile human mind. This aid did come at the greatest of costs, a debt as yet unsettled, a price we will continue to pay until the last Gordon passes to dust. For the centuries, we Gordons made the land our own. Others did bow to us, as we kept the secrets of Scahan Dubh, the secrets of the Black Mirror. Even as tragedy and madness did fester in our foundations, we held fast and steered the land through vile English attack and worse. In time, the Gordons and the land became one.
Some pages have been ripped out. The only thing left seems to be some kind of family oath.
In blood we are bound to the land we protect, to the truths we alone may conceal. I shall forfeit my life, lest my clan should suffer. I shall forfeit my spirit to hold the darkness at bay. In blood we are bound till the day of the reckoning.
What on earth? Where's the call coming from? Is this what madness feels like? It can't be real. All this looks like the bottom of a lake. What are you trying to show me? There's a fresh wound across her stomach. The figure up there must be Edward.
'Tis well
Is this? All this looks like the bottom of a lake. What are you trying to show me? I feel... The figure up there must be Edward.
Are you all right?
Did you see her? She drowned.
Calm down, you're in shock. What were you doing clambering about in here?
If I told you, you'd think me mad.
Odd. That is just what your father said to me.
What? Who are you?
My name is Dr. Leah Farber. I treated your father at the asylum.
The asylum?
Let's get you back to the castle and make sure you are all right.
What did you come here for?
I'm not sure your father's story is finished yet, and there are some things I still need to make my peace with.
What's this about an asylum?
As I said, your father was admitted.
Why? Who did that to him?
I did. But unfortunately, he managed to escape.
What? Hold on a minute. How dare you come in here and...
Told you? Your father was a madman. A complete and utter madman. Don't mind me. Please continue.
Well, what right did you have to lock my father up in a madhouse?
I was his doctor. I understand you are in shock, but you have no right to speak to me in such a way. I was trying to help him.
He's dead. Capital job.
Now, hold on just a minute.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, no!
Eddie, it'll be all right. Pull yourself together.
I suggest nobody else goes down there. We should keep the room intact until the police can get here.
I shall alert them first thing in the morning. What an unfortunate accident.
An accident? You think so? Just after the madman's son turned up at our door?
And yet you were the one standing over her body with blood on your hands.
How dare you! I was too late! I was trying to help her, she...
There, my sweet boy. Let's get you to bed. Angus, would you?
Of course, ma'am.
I think we will all benefit from a good night's sleep.
I know you may have no reason to, but I need you to trust me. I'm the only one on your side when it comes to your father's death.
Lady Margaret certainly isn't. But if I told you what I saw in the chapel, you'd have me in a padded cell, just like my father. Why did you come here? To make sure my father was successfully in the ground?
With all due respect, Mr. Gordon, I will not allow you to speak to me or about my work in such a tone. I tried everything I could to aid your father. Your father was heavily drugged when he was brought to me, to prevent any further violent outburst, or so Lady Margaret had said. But something felt wrong, even then.
So, what was my father like when you locked him up?
I didn't just lock him up. I tried to help him. He was convinced he was carrying some ancient curse, that he was being haunted by evil. I wish I had reached him, had been able to reach him.
Maybe if I threw you a bone, you'd get off my back. Father was obsessed with the history of the family for as long as I can remember.
Did your father actually believe his family was out to get him?
Who knows? I think what scared him was beyond the physical.
Was that why he moved you to India? To get as far away as possible?
I believe so.
And yet, here you are, in the very place he sought to protect you from.
Who knows? Maybe there is an ancient evil in this place. An evil that drags us back no matter how far away we get. Even from the other side of the world.
And what do you think? Was your father right? Are there things beyond the physical?
I have other things to worry about right now.
Things like a drowning woman floating in thin air.
If you really want to help me, I need to find out what the maid knew. What Lady Margaret and Angus didn't want her to tell me.
You believe it got her killed?
Maybe.
What I saw in the chapel, it has to be real. She must have drowned herself down at the loch. Because if it's all in my mind, like father, like son. Angus will have the key. Unless we can...
We need to examine the maid's body
to find out who killed her.
To be sure she was murdered before we...
Rory's not one for cleaning up after himself.
I think I might have an idea how to get into the cellar, but I'm not sure you'll like it.
If it involves this filthy dumbwaiter, don't even think about it.
I can't fit in there, and I see no other way into the cellar.
You're asking me to put a lot of trust in you, given the circumstances.
You can trust me, and I will do my very best to learn to trust you.
All right, then. Clothes can be washed. Lovely. Pull me back up! I need something to open the doors from the inside once I'm down there. We need to examine the maid's body
to find out who killed her.
To be sure she was murdered before we start pointing fingers.
This should do it.
We need to examine the...
to find out who killed her.
To be sure she... Going down?
Good luck.
See you in a minute.
Dr. Farber. Is everything all right? Leah!
Oh, if anything's happened to her.
You needn't worry about me. I've been to stranger places than this castle. Follow me. Her neck's been broken, and with some considerable force, it seems. Her necklace looks like gold, albeit a plain design, and it's missing any form of pendant.
Still, well beyond a maid's salary. It...
Where's
Your
that sudden draft
stag
coming
is
from?
here, my little doe.
Little doe. Not exactly the usual way to address the staff.
Mr. Gordon? Speak to me, please. Her neck's...
Your
Where's that
stag
sudden
is
draft
here,
coming from?
my little doe.
Little doe. Not exactly the usual way to address the staff.
Mr. Gordon? Speak to me, please.
We're all here, sir. All down in the dark. Something's coming. The attic, sir. She's in the attic.
What just happened? You look like you were in some kind of trance.
Perhaps the lack of sleep is affecting me.
Or the visions that you'd think me insane if I described them to you.
You need to learn to trust me. I am on your side, remember?
So you say. But I remember you locked my father up too. A tiger can't change its stripes.
Ugh, that's horrible.
You're not the one with your hand in it. French. I don't speak French.
I do. It says for Clara, forever yours. Who's Clara?
I don't know. Yet another relative, perhaps?
We should ask someone who's been around here for longer. How did you know it was there? The pendant, I mean.
If I told you, you wouldn't believe me.
A hunch. Eddie gave this to her. We should ask him to his face just what his relationship was with her.
This isn't another ghost story, is it?
Look, you wouldn't understand. I can't...
What I do understand is that we could not accuse a man of murder without proof.
They seem to be a house full of carnivores. This... I've read enough to know Edward was a dangerous man. Perhaps even a murderer. It's labelled Mallory, as in Eddie. Recognise that?
The necklace. Is that...
A young Eddie and his mother Clara.
I regret to inform you that your husband, Corporal Victor Mallory, number 874511, was killed in action with the enemy on the day of the 14th of September in Ypres. Your husband was involved in an advance against enemy lines. While he and his fellow soldiers fell, the action was successful, and you can take comfort in knowing his sacrifice saved many lives. It was not possible to get his remains away, and he was buried in a soldier's grave. Please accept the condolences of all the company. Yours, Captain Arthur Jones, 4th Army.
Thank you for your last letter. My heart soars with every word of yours I read. I touch the ink and imagine your fingers are just inches from mine, that we can almost touch, that I can almost feel the warmth of your skin once more. Young Edward grows more like his father each day. You'd be amazed how he shares your looks. I long for the day that this terrible war is ended and you return home to us, so we can be a family once more. I shall write to you again soon. Know that until then you are always in our hearts. Your loving wife, Clara.
The date. She was writing this when the death notice arrived. Oh, the poor woman. You see? The necklace was his mother's. He gave it to the maid. The maid!
You're right. We need to speak to him about this. But how could you know this? I can't help you if you don't tell me.
Cousin Eddie might be a murderer. How I draw my conclusions can wait for now.
If you'd just like to wait out here, sir.
I need to speak with Eddie.
The young master and her ladyship are otherwise detained.
May I remind you, this is my house?
May I remind you that it is not yours yet?
Might as well try moving a mountain out of the way. Fair enough. Eddie, I need to ask you about the maid. About Ailsa.
You didn't know her!
I know that you and her were... That is to say, I know you had feelings for her.
What? That's poppycock! You're as deranged as your father was!
David, really? You go too far with this behaviour.
The police will be here soon. Would you not prefer to clear this up before they get here in case they link Eddie with the crime?
Now look here, young lady. How dare you speak?
That's enough. Eddie. My little doe. Strange thing to call the help.
How? It was just harmless fun, that's all.
You gave her this. It was your mother's.
I did. It was.
Eddie!
I was just trying to cheer her up. She has nothing, and I had no need of it. You know she sends... You know she sent most of her money home to her grandmother.
Her clothing was ripped, as if someone was trying to force themselves upon her.
I would never have hurt her.
You're a worthless liar. You think she thought being pressed against a dead animal was harmless fun?
How do you know? It's true. Ailsa and I would never have laid a finger on her. We were in love. I helped her with everything, even with her chores. Rose and...
That's quite enough. Eddie, you are obviously upset. And you are not helping, David. Angus, will you please take the young master upstairs?
As you say, ma'am.
I think you have caused quite enough disruption here. We shall settle this heritage dilemma first thing tomorrow.
I don't think so. I have more questions now than ever. About my father, the maid, this whole damn house.
Have a care, David. Need I remind you of your father's temper?
I would never.
Given the current mental state of Master Eddie, who should be a part of the heritage considerations, any discussion on the topic would be futile at this point. Would you not agree?
Thank you, Leah. Maybe it's a good thing you're here after all.
Impudent brats!
What's going on?
Did you notice when Margaret got angry?
When Eddie mentioned... What was it? Chores involving a rose. What does that mean?
Something about the garden, perhaps? We could ask Rory. Or is it about the attic? Oh, I wonder. Whatever it is, it's something she doesn't want us to know.
The attic?
I saw the maid coming down the stairs with a tray. But there's nothing up there but an empty room.
Interesting. You're right. But how could you...
Cousin Eddie might be a murderer. How I...
What is it? I'll get you back.
Stop monkeying around. Come with me.
I'll come and
outside in a bit.
Don't go.
Can I just have a few
It's
more
not a request, Carol.
Don't worry. I'll be fine. Don't go.
What's happening to me?
David? Is everything all right?
We should make haste.
Oh, stunning. How curious. Come and look at this. Look, they form a clear circle.
This can't be a fluke.
It looks like one of the stones is missing.
A heavy enough stone to weigh yourself down with.
I've never seen a rose like this before.
I have. The gardener, Rory. He brought some down from the glass house.
Something's carved into each one. You see? The necklace was... You see?
You're right, but...
Cousin Eddie might be a murderer. How I draw my... That's an unusual looking rose. I noticed one lying by the side of the loch.
Aye, that's been me. A flower for the flower of Scahandoo, Cecilia.
My aunt? They're for her?
I grew 'em for her. She loved the roses, did Cecilia. No the red ones, though. Made her think of blood, ye ken.
Forgive me, but wouldn't it be more fitting to place them on her grave?
Why, she's no there, is she, laddie? That's not where she rests. And I don't much stand by your modern god.
Rory, what happened to her? What happened to Cecilia?
I'm not in the mood to open old wounds, laddie.
There are some strange markings carved into the stones on the shore.
Runes, aye. I'm old-fashioned, I suppose. still hold to the old ways.
Superstitions don't gain validity just by being believed in for a long time.
I'd watch that. Your precious science doesn't have all the answers, lassie.
May I have some of the roses, Rory? I'd like to place them on Cecilia's grave.
What's she to you? You didn't ken her.
No, I didn't. But she's family. And besides, Father always spoke fondly of her. He would even smile as he talked about playing in the gardens with her as a child.
He did he? Aye, well, that's good to ken. I should have some left in the glass house.
I'll speak to you later, Rory.
Aye, I'm sure you will, laddie. Sorry, lassie, but you can't go in. It's for family only.
Just hold on a moment.
No, it's okay. I quite understand. You go ahead, and I'll wait here for you, if I must.
Aye, you must. I know, it doesn't look like I have green fingers. Looking to break some more locks, laddie.
Are these...
Aye, Cecilia's roses.
They're beautiful.
I like to think so.
But they seem to be the only thing that grows here. Can you tell me about Cecilia? What was she like?
She was a lovely lassie, but she had more than her share of troubles.
Grandfather Edward.
You ken well enough, son.
You said she wasn't in her grave.
Aye, that I did.
Did she drown?
She did. Killed herself. Her body was never found. Now all I have of her is my memories. And they're not what they were. And this.
That is exquisite. Cecilia made this.
She made it, aye. For me. Girl must have cut her fingers 100 times doing it. On the thorns, ye ken.
You are unworthy of the name Gordon.
Get away from her, you coward!
That scratched the word Baron into her arm. What a monster.
Get lost!
You monster!
Who is that old woman? It takes courage to confront Edward like that.
They lied to me.
Who did?
All of them. It's fake.
What just happened?
I could ask you the same thing. You started to talk to yourself. And then you were throwing your arms about like you were fighting something. I couldn't see what. You started bawling and the lassie came in to see what was going on. She tried to settle you, but you just went for her.
I saw an old lady. She wore a long, flowing dress. Her voice was strong, determined.
Sounds like Rosemary. She were Lady Margaret's mother.
Was Cecilia not able to have children? Did that anger Grandfather Edward?
Maybe you can see well enough too, son. Maybe you can. It wasn't her, it was her husband. He was the bother. Couldn't, you ken?
I think so, yes.
Aye, well, Edward blamed Cecilia for it, for picking the wrong man for her mate. You'll be fine, laddie. You just need some fresh air. This place can get to ye.
The crack is right there. Edward was furious. Seems like the secateurs should be... Here they are. How could I know? This seems awfully accurate for a forgotten memory.
David, are you all right?
Am I all right? I should be asking you. Oh, I'm so sorry I hurt you. I don't know what happened.
Don't worry. I faced much worse in the asylum.
She's tough. I don't think it's possible to face her. Sorry again.
Maybe don't leave me outside like a naughty puppy next time.
Yes, quite. I feel like the madness that runs through this family, through these walls, is starting to seep into me too.
I can help you, but you need to open up. You need to start talking to me.
You would not believe me if I told you.
Stubborn, just like your father.
I think that Edward may be responsible for the death of my Aunt Cecilia. Not directly. She drowned herself in the loch. I think that Edward drove her to it.
Old families usually have a skeleton or two in the cupboard.
Yes, but my family has a graveyard full. Whatever secret this family is hiding, it's costing lives. Cecilia, the maid, my father. We have to put a stop to this. We need to find out what happened to the maid tonight.
What is it, David?
I have to see.
David, wait! You have to start confiding in me, David. What are you seeing?
I can see echoes. Memories of those who lived here. I see my father as a young boy. He's trying to communicate with me.
Perhaps you visited here as a child. Maybe you're remembering stories your father told you of this place when you were young.
You see? I said you wouldn't believe me. If I'm only remembering things, how would I have known where to find the pendant? How could I have known he tried to force himself on her? Unless you think I killed her.
I don't think you killed anyone, David. And you're right. I can't explain it.
So?
So, we focus on the facts as we know them.
Go on.
You saw the maid's body. Her neck was broken. That was the work of a human, not a ghost, yes?
I suppose so, yes.
Lady Margaret knows more than she's saying, that's for sure.
Godspeed getting anything out of that old hag.
No, I know. But Eddie might be an easier option.
Yes. Yes, we need to find him. And make sure Margaret isn't there to interrupt.
I believe she's already gone to bed, but I'll check. You go find Eddie.
Well, that's clear enough.
Well, hello, my dear Ailsa. Oh, Sir Edward, you look very handsome today.
Eddie?
Why, thank you. You're as beautiful as ever, my little doe. Oh, mwah, mwah.
Eddie, can you hear me? What can you tell me about Great-Grandmother Rose? What did Ailsa have to do? Eddie! Self-made dolls. Ugh. The stuff of nightmares. Let's see if my... Not like this. Not... Not like this. Another part of the model, and it's stained with what seems to be old blood. Why did Father bury this when he was a child? Another part of the model, and it's stained with what seems to be old blood. Why did Father bury this when he was a child? Not like this. I've never seen a key like this before. It feels like Father wanted me to keep it a secret. Not like this. I've never seen a key like this before. It feels like Father wanted me to keep it a secret.
Quite safe, the little rabbit said to his brothers and sisters. The fox is fast asleep, so the rabbits tiptoed past, and the fox was sly. He wasn't asleep at all. He opened his yellow eyes.
I've warned you before to mind your place. This will be the last time you defy me!
The eyes of the fox, they shone with cruel light as he punched on the rabbits and ate them all one by one. It was only then he went to sleep, his tummy full, his heart content.
I wonder what's on the other side. Is there... no, can't see a switch or lever. I guess not all castles are like Edgar Allan Poe. A secret passage.
What do you think you're doing?
That won't be long, I hope. Look after Eddie. Just a little further. Damn it!
That's it. Open wide. Good, good.
I don't
I want any.
That's all right, dear. Did I tell you that John's son David has arrived? He's as bothersome as his father. Not worthy of this place. Poor Angus will never recover from the sight of John's charred remains. Selfish, selfish man.
Please, don't.
I do not enjoy this, as you well know, but you brought it on yourself. Your son was a good man. You should not have defied him.
Rosemary. Oh my God. She's barely skin and bones. How is she still alive?
Someone didn't switch. It was in the bookcase.
You scared me half to death.
Well, you will insist on wandering off without telling me where you're going, and I just managed to avoid Lady Margaret when... Jesus, God!
I saw this.
In a vision.
Edward beat her with it. Used it to cripple the poor woman.
Oh, my God. And he hung it there to remind her every day. Take it down.
You're sure?
Do it!
Thank you. Thank you.
Rosemary, I'm David. John's son. Your great-grandson.
Here, try this. No, like this. Gently.
Who did this to you?
Edward. I was bad. I disobeyed.
Disobeyed? How did you disobey?
Cecilia. I tried to stop him. Stop what he was doing.
What was he doing, Rosemary?
Should not have disobeyed. Not disturb him in the old wing. Never talk back.
Rose! Rose! What did he do to Cecilia?
I don't think you'll get anything more out of her. Poor woman. Come on, Lady Rosemary. We'll get you out of here.
No!
We can get you somewhere safe.
I'm safe here, in this room. Safe from the Black Mirror.
The Black Mirror. Margaret has a lot to explain. I think we need to have words with her ladyship. Margaret, we need to talk about...
Lady Margaret, if you please.
Never mind that. What the hell are you doing with Rosemary?
You'll want to talk. You're just like your father, leaving nothing but fear and misery in your wake.
What in God's name are you talking about?
You spoke to young Eddie, did you not? Now he's convinced everyone is trying to kill him. He has taken poor Andrew hostage and is threatening his life.
Where is he?
He's taken him to the old wing, and he is armed.
I'll go. I can talk to him.
You will not. You two have caused quite enough trouble already.
We? How dare you, when you continue to worship Edward, even though he drove poor Cecilia to drown herself?
I will not allow you to...
To what? To speak the truth? To say that Edward...
He never touched her! You come here, and you...
No, you. You are the one in the wrong here. You know more than you're saying, and we both know it. There's something in this place. An evil that has plagued our family for generations. Instead of blaming others, maybe you should look closer to home for the cause of your misfortune.
You know nothing. What I did, what I do, everything is for this family. How can you possibly understand?
Please, my lady, we can discuss this later. Miss Farber, you need to speak to Master Eddie.
Take us to him.
This way. Have a care in the old wing. It isn't used, and for good reason. A section of wall fell into the sea some years back, and the rest is falling to ruin. Over there, sir.
Eddie?
No! No! They're after me! All of them! Trying to kill me! No! Please help!
Eddie, look at me, Eddie, just at me. It's going to be all right.
Stay back here. I'll try to reason with him.
You will not. This is what I do. Eddie? Talk to me, Eddie.
Open wide.
Tell me what's troubling you.
Eddie would see me.
Troubling me? He is! And David! They all are!
They all are what, Eddie?
Accusing me! They think I killed her!
The maid, you mean?
But I didn't! I didn't!
I believe you, Eddie. I believe you.
He can't see me from here. This might be a way across. Steady now.
Stop wriggling about. You stay still.
Let him go, Eddie. Everything is all right. Slowly, Mr. Herbison.
Come here!
Bloody fool.
Bits of bone. Should work if I'm careful. Let's hope this doesn't snap under the strain.
What the? Leave me alone! I told you, leave me alone!
Eddie, stop!
What? Get them off me! Get them off!
You okay?
What? No! Hold still, you bastard!
Andrew! Andrew, no!
David? David?
What? What happened?
Relax. Everything's fine.
Fine! Are you out of your mind?
Oh, please, contain yourself, Andrew.
I most certainly will not. And I'm not spending another moment in this madhouse. I will fetch the police from the village immediately.
I don't think that would be wise, sir.
Are you threatening me?
Perish the thought, sir. I am merely pointing out the folly of driving these roads in the dark.
And besides, we may need the car if Eddie's condition worsens.
The insane brat can jump off the roof for all I care. I, for one, will rather risk my life out there than in here.
Leave, then. And before you even think of telling anyone what happened here, just remember who you are dealing with. And yes, you may consider that a threat. Angus, kindly help me with young Eddie.
Careful now, just take it slowly. I'm sorry I didn't believe you.
Science took a beating tonight.
After seeing what happened here, I think even Dr. Freud would agree with you. I need to check up on Eddie and make sure he's all right.
Have you forgotten that he tried to kill you?
So, I'll be careful then. He's a person in need, no matter what he did.
The mirror. I think it's some kind of dark force, an ancient evil summoned by the druids.
And they lost control over it.
I believe they never had control. My father tried to destroy the mirror, to end the evil, but he failed. Now he's trapped in there.
Are you talking about his soul?
If that's what you want to call it. All I know is... we have to find a way to free him. Edward knew of the mirror. He may have even understood its power.
So we know what it is, but not where.
It's underground. Somewhere. Reaching it, well, that's the real conundrum.
And how not to end up like your father.
This is Edward's lair. And Margaret was none too eager on us prying.
So we should pry.
Indeed.